About Us pages are kinda weird. They fly against everything marketing experts say to do on any other web page. They're self-indulgent, they're braggy, and they make you as the business the hero when everyone knows it should be all about your customer, right? Actually, in this case, maybe not. I know, not the advice that I thought I'd be giving, and it kind of goes against advice that I've given in the past, but I've discovered something new here, and I can't wait to share it with you. And because I know it helps, I'll be showing you lots of examples of everything that we go over so that you can see it in action. So why is your About Us page so important anyway?
They're almost always among the very most top visited pages on any site. If you look at analytics, this is a page on the path toward conversion.
This is Andy Crestodina, co-founder of Orbit Media right here in Chicago, and one of my personal web marketing mentors from way back. He's got an amazingly simple framework that any business can use for their About Us page to connect more with your prospects and really make them see you as the human-based business that they want to work with over anyone else. With everything going on in the world, trust is at an all-time low. We don't trust the news, we really don't trust politicians, and when people generally think they're being lied to from every angle, that negative feeling can transfer over to other things too, like businesses we may want to work with or products that we may want to buy. When distrust is the new default, how can your About page actually help you inject some much needed trust back into your website and your business itself? To answer that, you've got to know why people are going to your About page to begin with. They're going for a few things.
Visitors want to feel a connection to a brand. May not be obvious, but some of the key questions people have about any business are, who are you? Why did you start this?
Yeah, they want to see for themselves that there are real human beings behind the brand, because we humans like buying from people more than we like buying from companies. And whether they know it consciously or not, they want to feel connected to what you stand for. And this isn't new agey sending good vibes out into the universe stuff either. Nope, this is backed up by data. 36,000 people were surveyed, and turns out that 58% of them choose businesses they want to work with or buy from based on the connection they feel to their beliefs and values. So yeah, this page does need to be a little different from the rest of your website.
It's an opportunity to really break a rule that applies to most web pages, which is don't make it too much about yourself. Some websites talk too much about the brand, and they fail the French test. We love us, we, which is failing the French test. And it's a joke, don't wee all over your website.
Oui, madame. No, I just want to powder my nose, thank you.
But the About page is supposed to fail the French test. Be a little bit self-indulgent, make it long. Go into those values and the why. Tell the why. Why does this company exist? They're fun to write. They're an exception. They're very powerful, and they're a chance for that person to make a connection with the humans on the other side of this screen.
So what's the easiest way for anyone watching this to create that kind of About page that's going to connect like that you're talking about?
So if you make a mini framework, and we all love frameworks, for what should be included in the About Us page, I'm going to give you 7 quick things. One is that there's a story. Stories have beginning, middle, and end, and stories leverage a type of human psychology that makes them easy to connect with. It's a fundamental way in which humanity understands reality.
Our brains like stories because they cut through distractions. And according to Forbes, storytelling is not only going to help your visitors look more favorably at your business, it can also be up to 22 times more memorable than facts alone. And if the idea of telling a story sounds complicated, or like, how am I supposed to tell a story about my business? Don't worry, it's about to get super clear, because the rest of this framework breaks it all out into simple bite-sized chunks, starting with what every good story needs, and that's characters, aka
people. Stories have characters. An About Us page should have people. The founders or the leadership or visuals of their faces. One of the most common mistakes on an About page is that it lacks characters or people. There's no humanity. The About page is sort of regurgitating what was on the home page, which is just the business category. About us. These are our solutions. These are our services. These are our products. That's not actually about you. That's about what the company does. So I saw one today. It's an About Us page that fails to mention anybody. It doesn't talk about when the company was started. It doesn't talk about why the company exists. What was missing from the marketplace that created the need for this company to come into existence? That's what a good about page does.
So introduce your key team members, or if it's just you, great, introduce yourself. All of these About Us page examples do a great job using images of the people behind the brand. So this just helps your site visitors see that you're real, whether you're a big team or a one-person show. And next we have
conflict. What was the failure in the marketplace that forced us to create this business? What problem is it solving? There was a problem, and we care, so we're there to fix it. There's a dragon, and it's bad, so we're there to fight it.
And here are a few ways that you can fight those dragons on your About page. First, check out this example from New Era. They use stats to show that a big problem exists. Then they go on to personalize it with an origin story of sorts, something that they fight against. Or you could have even more fun with the approach used by Freshdesk. So they just use a simply styled timeline to show that a bad customer experience sparked the idea for the company, then the rest was history. But the idea of fighting off metaphorical dragons is really just one way of using conflict.
The other type of conflict is a simpler one. It's just the passion of the founders. Our company's kind of like that. I didn't want to do anything else. This is all I wanted to do. I'm just a bit obsessed with the intersection between art and science and creative and technical. That was the conflict for me, is that I would not have been satisfied doing anything else. Resolution. What is the outcome of this work? What is the impact of this work? How does it make a difference? What is the sort of emotional connection that the reader can have to the results that connect to the purpose? So every story has a resolution. The resolution is kind of the moment, the new bliss, you might call it.
And you can show that new bliss in a few ways. So check out this About page from Arrow Payments. They show their results in the form of social proof and evidence that their methods work, followed by showing how they get those results by doing more than the other guys. So next up, we have something that most About pages skip altogether, and that's to briefly touch on where you're going next.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Think of this like a sequel.
What's the vision? A sequel element would be like in a cliffhanger ending. What do we believe will happen in the future? What is the position of this brand in the context of going forward? So this is something that is sort of easy to do even with a simple statement. It helps people see that you're thinking bigger than just this current moment. It gives them something else that's memorable about your values.
And this doesn't need to be its own section or anything. It can just be mentioned toward the end of your page, along with any of the other story elements that Andy's mentioned so far.
There's no rules for this stuff. I've seen very successful pages that are very light on text, but heavy on video. I've seen very successful pages that have no video, but a super, super long story. I've seen single paragraphs where each sentence sort of checks a box on those 7 things. You can actually make them very condensed sometimes, but still impactful, still including the elements.
But we're not done yet, so what comes next, Andy?
I read stories to a 4-year-old every night. The ones that she loves are the ones that have dialogue. People talking to each other. Quotation marks, the most powerful key on your keyboard. Put something in quotes and it's just instantly more credible and more compelling. So dialogue, really hearing the voice of the brand. Literally hearing the voice of the brand. Written as text or in video. A great format for that is video, because it's going to let them, they're going to see your face and hear your tone of voice. And when the words you speak and the expression on your face and hands and the tone of voice you use, when those 3 things align, then you're credible. So video is a super, super powerful format for About Us pages. And then finally, the setting. What is the context? What is the business? What is the category? Where are we in the world? People want to know that, right? It's an indication of spam if you cannot tell where that business is. So picture the exterior, just a map of locations. Some visual, ideally it's visual again, that shows where this company is.
And that's just your About Us page, but I've got the complete framework you can use to dial in all the messaging on your entire site just right. It's my 100% free masterclass, and I've got a seat for you. So just click right here to get your on-demand access so that you can start strategizing and creating the kind of website that's going to win way more clients than any other type of website that you may have ever tried before. So click here and I'm going to share it all.